The R-vee market crash they said would never happen is here.
Total R-vee shipments in May were the biggest on record, up 11.8% year over year.
4 million used rigs flooded the market overnight, and dealers are scrambling to survive. The same banks that fueled the boom just pulled the plug, leaving owners trapped in loans they can't escape. Repos, markdowns, bankruptcies. It's chaos from Elkhart to Arizona. But nobody's talking about who caused it or how deep this goes, because once you see what's really behind these discounts, you'll realize this crash was no accident. Let's pull back the curtain. Right now, the numbers are staggering. More than 4 million used RVs have been listed for sale across America since early October, flooding every major resale site from RV Trader to Facebook Marketplace. Photos show entire dealer yards lined with the fifth wheels and travel trailers wearing bright orange markdown tags. One Elkhart dealer bulletin dated October 3rd confirmed that half its stock was reclassified as aged inventory, meaning the bank clock has started ticking. What was once a symbol of open road freedom now looks like a slow-motion clearance sale. The cause is simple math. Factories built too much metal during the pandemic when cheap credit made everything look affordable. Now those same loans cost twice as much to service, and owners are rushing to unload before winter storage bills arrive. The feeds refresh hourly, prices fall daily. What began as a trickle has turned into a nationwide liquidation of dreams on wheels. But that is only half the pressure. Wait until you see the debt math coming next, the rate reset. When pandemic loans were written at 3% interest, monthly payments on a modest 40-foot travel trailer hovered around $600. Today, with rates above 8%, that same note runs well over $1,000. For owners on fixed incomes, the math is impossible. Credit unions that once begged for borrowers now refuse refinancing unless the balance exceeds $50,000 and the rig is less than 5 years old. Charts from Bankrate and Experian show consumer RV credit tightening faster than car or home loans. The result is brutal depreciation. Buyers know sellers are cornered, so trade-in values collapse overnight. What cost $120,000 2 years ago might fetch $75,000 today. And that is before dealer deductions. Families who stretched for the lifestyle now find their rigs worth less than what they owe. The so-called freedom purchase has become a liability on wheels. And when payments stall, the tow trucks roll. If this collapse already hits close to home, hit that like button so more owners see what's really happening, and drop a comment with what prices look like in your area. Your first-hand story keeps the numbers honest and helps others avoid the same financial trap. Repossession season. It starts quietly, a missed call from the bank, a warning letter, then the early morning rumble of a rollback truck. Across the Midwest, recovery agents say assignments have doubled since midsummer. Insurance lots outside Fort Wayne and Des Moines are packed with surrendered Class A coaches and half-ton towables. IAA auction data shows repossessed RV volumes up nearly 40% year over year. Dealers call it floor plan pressure. Each unit sitting unsold accrues daily interest, forcing them to move anything they can, sometimes even consignment rigs that technically belong to customers. For every repossession hauled away, another appears online at a discount, dragging public prices down again. Owners try to hide units behind barns or under tarps, but lenders' GPS trackers rarely miss. What began as a personal setback is now a systemic purge of debt. The next stop for all those recovered rigs is the wholesale yard, where the market's real bottom is being rewritten one bid at a time. Those auctions are about to set new price floors. Wholesale freefall. At regional auctions from Texas to Indiana, Class C models that sold for $80,000 in 2022 are now struggling to clear $45,000. A fifth wheel once worth $60,000 last spring just hammered for $32,500. This is price gravity. When too many units chase too few buyers, every markdown pulls the next one lower. Dealers whisper about adjustments, but the reality is desperation. Each unsold rig costs them floor plan interest every day it sits, and banks want those balances gone before year-end audits. For the average owner, that means trade-ins are underwater and private sales stall at break-even. It also means opportunity for patient buyers who can pay cash. But most viewers here are protecting what they already own. The lesson is hard but clear. Values are still sliding, and the bottom is not yet confirmed. That drop does not stop at the auction gate. It lands right in the dealer's office. Paper profits and fine print. Walk into any dealership this month, and the banners scream $10,000 off or 0% financing. But the numbers rarely add up once you sit down in finance. The advertised markdown is bait. The recovery happens behind the printer, through extended warranties, paint protection, and gap coverage that stretch a buyer's loan by years. A sample finance sheet leaked from a Midwest dealership shows a supposed $8,000 discount erased by over $9,000 in add-ons. Even documentation fees now hide under new names like market stabilization. Dealers are trying to balance their ledgers on paper, while the real value of their stock evaporates outside. The pressure to keep monthly payments low means longer terms, not better deals. For customers who walk in thinking they scored a steal, the truth arrives later, buried in interest and coverage they never needed. The illusion of profit is all that keeps these lots afloat. And while they juggle paperwork, their storage yards are overflowing. Lot overflow logic. From drone footage over Elkhart to satellite images in Texas, you can see the problem from the sky. Rows of unsold rigs jammed nose to tail, stretching across fields that used to hold a fraction of this inventory. Every one of those R-vees sits on borrowed money known as floor plan financing. Dealers pay interest daily until the vehicle sells, and the clock does not stop for bad weather or slow weekends. When inventory ages beyond 90 days, lenders apply penalties. That is why you now see steep markdowns on 2023 models as 2026 builds arrive. The longer they hold, the more they bleed. Staff quietly admit they are parking units off-site just to appear less desperate, but the truth leaks through aerial shots and delivery logs. Every extra week of storage means another few $100s burned in interest. The math is unsustainable. That is why factory orders are going dark in Elkhart. Factory slowdown. In northern Indiana, where R-vees once rolled out of factories 24 hours a day, the lights are dimming. WARN notices filed in late September show production cuts at plants in Elkhart, Middlebury, and Forest City. Local diners that used to buzz with second-shift crews now close before sunset. One welder named Eric, after 14 years on the line, said it plainly. "We built too many. Now the orders are gone." Each layoff ripples outward. Supply companies slash hours, truckers lose routes, and local tax bases shrink. Industry leaders call it strategic recalibration, but for the workers who stitched, welded, and polished those rigs, it feels like being written off. The irony is painful. The slowdown is meant to fix oversupply, yet the unsold stock from those very factories still clogs dealer lots across the country. Cutting production now cannot erase what is already sitting idle. But even if production stops, the damage is already shipped to your campground. Campground crunch. Campgrounds once offered relief from high fuel prices and city stress, but this year they have turned into another financial pinch point. Average nightly rates that sat near $30 a few seasons ago now hover around $60 or more. Corporate groups like KOA and Sun Outdoors continue buying up independent parks, standardizing fees, and trimming maintenance to protect margins. Hookups fail more often, restrooms close earlier, and customers still pay higher prices for less comfort. Families who tried to wait out the resale slump by living on the road are discovering they are not saving money. They are subsidizing corporate overhead. A Florida park owner told local news that his costs rose by 40% in 1 year due to insurance and property tax hikes. Those costs land directly on travelers. For owners watching both their rig's value and their campsite budget collapse, the feeling is familiar: paying more for less freedom. When travel costs rise and rigs lose value, buyers disappear, and that flips the market again. Anatomy of 4 million. By mid-October, the data is clear. Roughly 4 million used R-vees now sit in the marketplace, waiting for buyers who may never come. About half of them are travel trailers from the pandemic boom. A quarter are fifth wheels parked by owners who cannot afford diesel anymore, and the rest are motorhomes. Mostly Class A and Class C repossessions returned to banks. Satellite photos of storage yards in Indiana and Arizona show hundreds of acres packed bumper to bumper, with rigs stacked so tightly that some cannot even be moved for inspection. Storage operators are raising fees just to cover insurance on the overcrowded lots. Dealers admit privately that they are running out of physical space before year-end. The market is jammed at every level, and the longer these rigs sit, the more their systems decay. Batteries drain, seals crack, and rodents move in. Beneath that mountain of fiberglass and aluminum, opportunity hides for cautious buyers who know what to look for. Inside that pile are deals and traps. The bargain mirage. Every crash creates what looks like a miracle deal. Online listings right now show luxury coaches slashed by 40 or 50%. Some barely used, others photographed in perfect sunlight. But behind the shine often sits a problem. Many of these units came from flood zones or repossessions where maintenance was skipped for months. Dealers scrub them, patch panels and stage interiors to look showroom fresh. Then they post them with tags like Life Change Forces Sale. A former inspector from Louisiana said half the rigs he sees at auctions show moisture damage hidden under new vinyl. Before and after photos tell the story. Clean cushions over rotten floors, new decals masking warped siding. Buyers who rush in thinking they beat the market often inherit the repairs that bankrupted the last owner. The so-called bargains are sometimes the costliest purchases of all. The temptation is strong, but patience pays better. Here's how to spot them before they drain your savings. If this breakdown helped you understand where the market's really heading, subscribe now and stay ahead of the next shift. The biggest moves always happen quietly, until it's too late. I'll keep bringing you the receipts before they vanish, so you can protect your wallet first. Inspect before you believe. Every buyer in this market needs to think like an inspector first and a dreamer second. Start at the roof. Look for soft spots near vents or skylights where water sneaks through aging seals. Small bubbles or discoloration can reveal years of hidden leaks. Next, check the tire date codes. Anything older than 5 years can split on the first highway run, especially under heavy load. Crawl underneath for rust around the frame, axles, and stabilizers, particularly near the battery compartment or propane mounts where corrosion builds. Fastest. Inside, test every outlet, inverter, and slide motor. One failed inverter can cost over $2,000 to replace, and full roof resealing can run another $1,500 or more depending on materials. Never rely on dealer promises or certified stamps. Ask for maintenance logs, not glossy brochures. Inspect the underbelly panels, the seals around windows, and smell for mold behind cabinets. If the rig sat for even a single season, assume the plumbing, fuel lines, and generator need service. Each skipped detail can turn a discounted purchase into a repair marathon that drains your wallet. The good news is that solid, well-cared-for rigs still exist, often sold privately by meticulous owners. But even if you find one, the money game is not over. It's only moving to the bank. Credit chains and refi freeze. Banks have quietly redrawn the lines. Most lenders now refuse R-vee loans under $50,000 or older than 5 years, choking off affordable financing. That leaves cash buyers or those forced into personal loans with higher interest rates. Owners still carrying pandemic-era debt are discovering negative equity, owing more than the vehicle's current value. A family with a $75,000 loan on a rig now worth $45,000 cannot refinance. They are locked in at high payments while insurance premiums climb. Insurers claim risk has risen because replacement parts cost more, so they raise deductibles and reduce payouts. Some owners respond by dropping coverage, which only deepens the danger if a claim hits. The credit freeze squeezes both sides. Sellers cannot clear inventory, and buyers cannot secure fair loans. This is where markets stall until something gives. The system built on easy credit is seizing up one signature at a time, so if the system will not help you, it is time to help each other. Owners strike back. When the system stops working, people start building their own. Across the country, small groups of R-vee owners are quietly forming cooperatives to share storage, tools, and know-how. On Facebook pages like R-vee Repair Co-op USA and forums such as Full-Timers Anonymous, you can see posts from retirees pooling resources. One group in Arizona turned an empty lot into a shared maintenance yard, splitting the cost of lifts and sealant instead of paying dealership rates. Another in Indiana rotates storage between members' farms to dodge rising fees. These are not hobbyists, they are seasoned owners who understand that independence begins with self-reliance. For decades, manufacturers and banks set the rules. Now, the people who live this life are writing their own. It is slow, practical resistance, built from wrenches, not slogans. Each co-op formed is a small rebellion against overpricing and planned obsolescence. The movement is spreading mile by mile. That's the first sign of power shifting. The smart holdouts, while panic sellers race to offload. Rigs, the sharpest owners are doing the opposite, holding steady. They understand that markets run on cycles, not emotions. In 2022, R-vee values peaked. In 2025, they crashed. But every cycle finds a floor, and patient owners are watching for it. The smart holdouts maintain their rigs, keep payments current, and wait roughly 90 days. By January, dealers facing renewed floor plan interest will slash prices again to clear year-end inventory. That is when replacement parts stabilize and repair shops reopen seasonal discounts. Holding through the winter avoids the worst depreciation while still positioning for the rebound. These owners are not gamblers. They are readers of history. They remember 2018, when the last mini crash bottomed out around mid-February. Waiting pays if you can afford patience. Timing is the hidden profit no dealership can advertise, and those who master it walk away stronger. The calendar, not the dealer, sets the real bottom, when to move and when to wait. The best buying and selling windows in the R-vee world have always followed one simple rhythm. October through January brings pain for sellers and leverage for buyers. A look at seasonal price charts shows it clearly. As holidays hit, families pause travel plans and storage costs rise. Dealers holding unpaid inventory push aggressive markdowns before lenders renew their floor plan audits in mid-November. For cautious buyers, waiting just 3 weeks after a major price cut often reveals another drop as dealers clear books before taxes. Conversely, those looking to sell should avoid November entirely and target early March, when spring demand reawakens. The wallet rule is straightforward. Wait 3 weeks after each dealer markdown cycle and negotiate from facts, not fear. Buyers who follow that timing can easily save thousands without risking the hidden costs of desperate purchases. The market rewards patience and punishes panic. And one last thing, they never expected you to know this. Freedom rebuilt. After 2 years of chaos, the R-vee world is finally showing signs of self-correction, not through corporate rescue plans, but through ordinary people refusing to be fooled twice. Owners now trade maintenance tutorials instead of sales pitches. They buy parts in groups, rebuild aging rigs, and swap labor like neighbors used to swap sugar. The idea of freedom on wheels is returning to what it should have been all along: ownership built on skill, not financing. The lesson of this crash is not to fear the industry's collapse, but to learn from it. Knowledge is the currency that outlasts hype. Every viewer who understands depreciation, loan pressure, and timing now holds the real leverage. The future of R-vee life will belong to those who keep records, share data, and help each other stay solvent. The corporations will move to their next trend, but the road still belongs to you. Knowledge beats hype, always. Stay sharp, stay informed, and watch for the next episode. Bank Freeze Files 2025, because protecting your wallet never goes out of style. The R-vee market may be crashing, but knowledge is your strongest engine. You've seen the proof, the patterns, and the timing that the dealers hoped you'd miss. Stay patient, stay sharp, and let information, not fear, steer your next move. Subscribe, because the road to smarter ownership starts right here with you.